You can't win every single day. You have to have some losses to reach success. Everyone online is showing all their performing wins, but no one's talking about the days where nothing goes right and everything, and you lose a trade, you miss you miss a shot in basketball, you strike out, whatever it is, and you're losing that day. You're not having a winning day. You can't have that every day. If you want to reach true success, you have to have losses in life. And maybe you're down in trading. Maybe you had an L in a trade today, or shot didn't land, the creativity isn't there. The motivation is gone and you feel behind everyone else because they're having a winning day and you're not. Those days are not a sign you're falling behind or failing. They're a part of the process. And I want you to realize that, because it took me a long time to realize that myself. Losing a day is normal. It happens to everybody. Losing your direction is a choice. If you lose your direction, that's all on you. You have to take extreme ownership in life and say, if I'm losing direction, it's my fault. Because that's what extreme ownership is. You're basically, everything's my fault. Sales are down, it's my fault. Views are down, it's my fault. I lost a trade, it's my fault. Missed a shot, at the end of the day, it's my fault I took the shot. But you also can't blame yourself and be too hard on yourself, because then you're going to lose your direction. And you're going to keep losing and losing and losing. But now, one bad day doesn't erase everything you've built. Maybe you are trying to create good habits and you want to start journaling every night before bed. And you've been journaling every day for 30 days and then you miss one day. That's fine. You only missed one day. Don't let it be two, because if you miss two, that's the beginning of a new habit, and that's missing 2 days of not journaling. You're beginning a new bad habit. Now, the danger is letting one bad day make you quit. You have one losing day in trading, and you decide to quit. I'm done trading. I'm done using this strategy. This strategy sucks. I need to go find a new strategy. We've all been there. Or basketball. Maybe you're a basketball player. You miss a shot. I'm done. I'm never playing again. Or you always sell this one item in the store and you didn't sell it today. I'm done. I'm not working here anymore. I suck at my job. Dude, it's one day. You sell that item every day. It's a game. Life is a game of probability. Everything within life is a game of probability. And you need to realize that. Maybe you're a 60% shooter in basketball, but why aren't you so you're throwing your hands up in the air when you miss that shot, when maybe you miss that shot, but you're only 60% shooter. You're not a 100% shooter. You got to think about the other 40% of that percent. Where's the other 40%? Well, 60% of the time I'm going to make that shot, but the other 40% of the time I'm not going to make it. Okay, so what? You're still going to make it more times than you miss it. You're 10% over. Your chance to make that shot is 10% higher than you to miss it. So why are you quitting the first time if you miss that shot? Don't quit. And you don't have to be motivated. You just have to be committed. And we're going to talk a little bit about this in habit. When I talk about habits and creating new habits and whatnot, you just have to be committed to what you want to do, and immerse yourself into that. Maybe you want to strive out to achieve a new goal. Maybe you want to run a marathon. Well, don't say you want to be a marathon. Don't say you want to run a marathon. Say, I want to become a runner. Make that goal your identity, because if you make it your identity, then you're gonna you're gonna fight to actually reach that goal because it's a part of your identity now. Um, Now I want you to go back to your why when nothing else is working. Why did you start playing basketball in the first place? Or why did you become a car salesman? Why did you start trading? Why did you start running? Trading. I started trading because I want the time freedom to be able to spend the time with my family, right? Same thing goes for you guys. Maybe you started playing basketball for better physical fitness, or you started lifting to get stronger and to grow muscle, or you told yourself you want to run a marathon because you want to get a better cardiovascular system. Whatever it is, go back to your why when nothing else is working. When you have a losing day and you want to quit, sometimes you're going to have multiple losing days back to back. That happens. You're not going to win every single day back to back. And when you're having a losing week or even a losing day, go back to that why. Ask yourself, why did I start this? I want to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. But why did I start doing this? Whenever I have a losing day in trading, I go back to my why and I say, why did I start trading in the first place? Well, and then when I go to that, I think about my mom. I started trading for my mom and doing all this stuff for my mom to be able to give back to her for how much she's given to me. Now, I want you to... Now, that's one of the things you can do on a bad day, right? There's some more things you can do. You have to show up in a small way. You have to show up for yourself. Even the smallest actions keeps momentum going. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe when you're not feeling well and you don't want to lift, you're having a really bad day, and you don't want to go on a run or you don't want to hit the gym. But I guarantee you that lift or that run is going to make your day even better because you're having a bad day. And no matter what happened, you still went on that run or hit that lift. And at the end of that lift or that run, you're going to end up feeling better. And it goes the same thing for trading. It's a little bit different. You can't just keep trading when you're doing bad trading. Now maybe you go back testing and figure that out. Figure out what you're doing wrong. Go figure out what you did wrong when you lost. Go look at that. Go look at 9:30 open or whatever time you hit a trade, and go see, okay, what did I do wrong? What all went wrong when I entered this trade, causing me to lose? And then you go educate yourself and learn from your mistakes. And then you can also go back test your strategy. And then you also need to get off the charts too. You can't be on the charts all day long and expect change. Like, yeah, the more chart experience you have, the better you become, and the more market experience you have. But you have to get off the charts too when you're doing bad. You have to get outside. Go clear your mind. Go do something that clears your mind, you know? Now, and like the people counting on you too, they don't get an off day. And so why would you get an off day? Like, they're counting on you every single day. They don't stop. They're not counting on you every other day. They're counting on you every single day. So why would you stop counting on yourself every day? You have to count on yourself every single day, no matter what. No matter the loss, no matter what loss happened that day. All right. Now, I know we've gone over a lot, but for a close here, I want to make it about you guys. You know, the goal isn't to win every single day, right? We already talked about that a little bit, and it's not to quit. And it's not to quit on the days you don't win. The people who win long term aren't the ones with the most good days. They're the ones who survived the bad ones and learned from their mistakes, right? They had all these bad days and then learned from their mistakes. So then, learning from that mistake, and they kept repeating that mistake. So then, they eventually learned from it and stopped making that mistake. Now they might make little tiny mistakes now that cause them that give them a small loss in that day, but not as big as they used to. So that's just what you have to realize. Like, once you hit a certain point, you're going to have more good days than bad ones. And you're still here. You're still here. You're still on this earth. And that's enough for today. Like, God woke you up today. So why wouldn't you go chase after it? Why would you quit? Even though you had a bad day, you know?